Greetings, adventurers. I have an exciting video planned today. We're going to do an exploration of a little area around the southern tip of Illinois. Alright, so we are here right now at Cave in Rock State Park, Illinois. We just have like a short little half-mile hike here with a whole bunch of cool things to see. Starting off with this, the Ohio River. So, in one of my earlier videos, I was talking about the river-to-river trail, which the eastern border of Illinois is the Ohio River, and the western border is the Mississippi. So the trail cuts across the southern tip, called the river-to-river trail, and then the southern, very southern tip of Illinois is when the Illinois flows into the Mississippi. Right here at Cave in Rock, there's a giant cave that we get to go in. It was formed by erosion from this river. Pretty cool. Apparently, back in the day, like early 1900s, this was used by river pirates. And they would pirate the steamships and stuff that would go by on the river. Okay, heading away from Cave in the Rock. Kind of a cool little walk on the rocky beach here against the cliff walls. It's kind of nice, but right now it's too windy, so it's blowing dust in my face. It kind of sucks. There is another little cave right here. Just a little one though. So I'm pretty much right on top of that little cave that I was just talking about. Here's a fence around the top, the hole. Oh wow. Whoa. I don't know if you can hear anything with this wind. All right. That's a little better. So this hole here was that second little cave. Pretty cool. All right, well, nice little viewpoint. Next, there's another cave just a little bit over there. Still windy up here. So I was mistaken, it's not another cave. It's the big cave, but it's the hole in the top. Alright, so that pretty much concludes Cave in the Rock. We're gonna head on to our next spot. Alright, drove about 10 minutes away to this little boat launch here, and there's a little attraction called Tower Rock, which got a short hike. Ladies and gentlemen, Tower Rock overlook. Couple of cool things. First of all, the size of this barge right here. Oh my goodness. This thing is huge. Also, this river is huge. This is the Ohio River still. I'm surprised how big it is. It's just as big as the Mississippi. At least up in Minnesota, where I'm from, the Mississippi is almost as big. And to think that this flows into the Mississippi just a couple miles down, I've never seen the Mississippi that far south before, but it must be enormous. Just like that ship. Amazing. Alright, well, I'm gonna head on to our next stop. I'll see you in the parking lot. Interesting. So this was an iron furnace built in like 1837, I think it said. It's like you would start a fire deep inside and then keep throwing stuff in. I don't know how you would load it. It's kind of cool how thick these walls were to keep the heat in. Said this furnace produced some of the best quality iron in its time, so it was very heavily used. It's huge. It's kind of a neat little piece of history. let's move on to our next spot. Alright, we're at a cool little historic site here called Herod's Cave. There's not really any information about it, but I assume this was his house. Nice little brick structure. This kind of looks like it would be the front door. Right out to the road. And then it leads over here. And there's a fireplace all the way over there. So it must have been a fairly large home. And it looks like he built it right into the wall of the cave. Kind of a nice, pretty cool feature. Nice little thing here. And then over here, I can use my car for scale. There's like a little garage. So this would be Herod's Cave. Awesome. Off to our next awesome location. Alright folks, back out on the trail. That's just a quick half-mile hike. We'll be there in no time. So this is Sand Cave. Huge cave. There's birds flying in and out. Huge cave. And this has historical value because back during the Civil War and stuff, this was used in the Underground Railroad. Hundreds of African Americans came here to escape slavery. Interesting cave. I'm sure this cave was also used by Native Americans long ago. It's kind of interesting with the big boulder right in the middle. It's like the whole cave is completely empty. It's just that one big boulder. And it looks like it's perfectly in the center. Anyway, I spent long enough here. Let us continue to our next stop. Alright, adventurers. We're here now at Millstone Bluff. There's a short, like 1 mile loop hike here to do. And there's some cool archaeological stuff to see.
Back in time.
Okay, so here would be the cemetery. I don't really see much except for this little hole here in the ground. Looks like it has a bunch of big flat stones that have caved in. That definitely looks like a caved in grave. I don't see any others. But then continuing around the path, there should be homes. I also don't know if I mentioned this yet or not, but it is hot today. It's probably like 85 right now. So, oh, look at that. Turkey vultures. I don't know. This sign has a whole bunch of petroglyphs you can find, it says. But I can't find a single one. And then that one over there says there's the spider just below the sign. But I can't see that one either. Alright, starting to get into the town area. All the buildings are gone, but there's still pits from the Mississippi Indians. Pits from the houses that they made. This hole is much bigger, the sign says, because this was the center of town and was probably like the meeting hall or community center. The Village Plaza. So, according to this sign here, this area here, there's not as many trees growing here because the ground is so hard and compacted from the village square's activity that not a lot of trees grow here. And also, it says there are more than 20 depressions around this area, surrounding this area, which means there's probably around 100 people that lived in this town at the time. Alright, adventurers. This one was pretty cool. A lot of cool historical facts about the Mississippi Indians, a little village of theirs. It was just kind of neat to like think that I was walking the same paths and sitting at the same overlooks and stuff. Anyway, this next one is about it's not too far away, but to get there I have to drive all the way around, and I need gas, so I need to stop and get gas. And then Google says I think it's about 45-minute drive, so I'll meet you there. We're here. I'm gonna call this Jackson Creek because what we're going to has the name Jackson. So, we're here. It's a quarter-mile hike in. I'm already started. Let's go. Alright, so that's Jackson Falls. But can't figure out how to get down to the bottom. There's a whole family hanging out down there, but hiked a mile down the trail and I can't find the connection. Alright, well, we got to see the top of the falls. And this area is pretty beautiful too. Bunch of cedars, a nice flowing stream, bunch of mud. But there's also a bunch of dispersed camping sites here at the beginning. There's like 12 campsites all bunched right next to each other. I thought it was kind of crazy. But beautiful little cascading stream here. Beautiful little walk. Maybe if you come here, explore a little more, you can figure out how to get down to the bottom. There is another trail on my map that goes to the bottom, but you have to start in a completely different area. The trails don't even connect according to my map. And I walked about a mile down the trail to see if they did connect, but I didn't see anything. Got one more stop, and it's a really good one. Alright, I had one last stop, but I found this. A replacement waterfall, Barren Falls. And this one, the map shows a trail goes all the way around to the bottom. Let's go check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, Barren Falls. That was pretty cool. I sat there for like 20 minutes. Still Still got one more place to go. Don't have a lot of time before it gets dark. Alrighty, folks. Here we are at our last stop. Bell Springs Recreation Area. Now, my original plan was to hike. There's a 6.5 mile loop that I made. But, as I said before, we don't have that much time. It is about 6:15, and it's already starting to turn to dusk. But we're off on the trail. We're gonna do like a little loop. We'll try to see the most we can before it gets dark. Alright, look at this. I believe this is the feature known as Devil's Backbone. It's also started raining. Boo. Wow, that was pretty awesome. And then seeing those deer. So this is the overlook. Climbing up those stairs, and I saw the deer standing there. I don't know how long he was there, but I didn't notice them for a while. It looks like they were just taking shelter. I'm gonna let them do that. I'm gonna start heading back. It's already getting dark. It's kind of sprinkling on and off. And there's like 800 streams to cross. And the trails are really hard to follow because they don't line up with my map at all. Whoa. Getting back to the car. I gotta cross the river again. Whew. It is muggy out here. It is so humid. It's literally falling out of the sky. Oh. It's just sprinkling, so it's not bad. Oh. But this place didn't have a lot of inclines, so that wasn't a big deal. But it's just super muggy. Anyway, time to ramp up this video. By the way, at the trailhead here at the Hunter, I forget what my trailhead was called. Hunting Branch Trailhead. There's a couple of cool rope swings. I almost feel like using one of them right now. Ooh. But unfortunately, we didn't see Bell Springs. I couldn't find it. My trails weren't matching up with anything that I saw there. There was blazes, white blazes that I was following, so there was a trail, but it wasn't following what I had on my map. This place was kind of trashed, to be honest. I saw a few diapers, empty water bottles all over the place. I saw flip-flops, socks. It was a beautiful day. Beautiful day in southern Illinois. My favorite was probably the very first one, the cave in the rock. That one's pretty cool. But yeah, they all were very unique. Barron Falls was pretty cool too. Again, the hike there was, that was steep. Anyway, time for me to start heading home. Thank y'all for coming with me. Hit that subscribe button so you can catch me, find out where I'm going to be next week. Right here on Happy Trail Backpacking.